Well, it's finally here. The Astros redemption tour has finally made a stop in the World Series. We're going to talk about that, plus the Seahawks are broken, plus Tom Brady is a man of the people. All that and more right now on Barry on Deck. Let go.
Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat, written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for being here. Today is Tuesday, October 26, 2021, and this is episode number 357 of Barry on Deck. As always, Barry on Deck brought to you by the AP Law Group. If you have been injured in an accident, do yourself a solid. Put that number right there in your phone, 713-913-GO-AP, or log on to aplawgroup.com and get some help. My guys, Ursha and Gilbert over there, they do a great job, and they're going to take care of you. So make sure you have that number. If you ever need them, they're there for you. You may not need them now, but eventually you'll get hit by a moron with no insurance or bad insurance, and you need to be covered. So call them, 713-913-GO-AP, aplawgroup.com. Hey, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Last show of the week. Breaking news.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, that's this will be the last show of the week. The light feels bright. Is the light hot? I feel like the light needs to be dimmed a bit. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, last show of the week. We have. I almost forgot something here. We have. I'm on the road. I'm in Tulsa starting tomorrow through Saturday. So no shows all week, unfortunately. I know. Boo this man. But everybody take a break, relax, enjoy your Halloween. Should be a good time on Sunday. Isn't that Halloween day? Yeah, I guess so. Go trick-or-treating and enjoy the week, though. Go Astros. We're going to get into the World Series and break it all down. But before we do all that, we always start this show. The greatest decade in the history of the world, at least for the next 2 hours. And it is none other than my girl, Shelbsters. Rocking that first super chat, first like. You can't stop Shelby. You can only hope to contain her. And you guys can't contain her. She's killing the game. Shelby, thank you so much for being here. Every single day on time, early, raring and ready to go, even though you know I'm going to start the show late. I appreciate it. That goes for all of you that get in early. Thank you so much. Usually the numbers start to pick up a little bit once the show gets rolling. But man, when you get in here early, it really does make a difference. It helps with the algorithm and my self-esteem and everything else. So I appreciate that so much. Thank you, to all of you that get in early. And that includes, as I look here, Cisco and Wallace and Matt Poche and Lil Uzi, Steven the Weather Guy in early, Fidel, Keith Sager, my dog, my Lawn Talk fam. Who else was Christy was in early. My sweet Donna was in early. Chris Reyes, Mr. 1% showed up on time. I dig that. Thank you, buddy. Who else was here? Let's see. Incarnate, what's up, dude? I saw Incarnate asked about was I gonna wear any. I didn't get their stuff yet. Incarnate asked was that Edo company, the Edo shirt company, or I forget the hell what their name was. I'll remember it when I see it. But no, they didn't send me any merch yet, so I'm not wearing it yet. But I was just rocking. I went lazy today. Daddy's wearing joggers. Got the old Yeezys on. This is a comfy day because it's all about packing and getting ready for the road. So what's up, Aaron J. Bryant? What's up, dude? Good to see you here. AJB in the building. CC, how are you, sweetie? Who else is here? Hey, Seuss, what's up, dude? Good to have you in the show. Thank you for being here. Hello, Mr. Swinford. How are you? Who else is here? Let's see. Christy, what's up, girl? What's up, girl? What the hell? Hey, Clarence, what's up, dog? Good to have you, man. Thanks for coming back to the show. Housey, what's up? Joe Pro? Oh, it is the Villanueva boys. Uriel and Alex back to back. Let's go. Tony the Handsome, my dude. Hello, how are you? Eric Resendez, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. Truck driver Pookie. What up, TDP? Good to have you here. Who else is in the building? Nick, how are you, man? Good to see you, Nicholas. Jen, hello, my dear. Thank you. Flip, what's up, dude? Thank you for being here, man. Stephen Luther's in the building. John Garza is here. Baseball time, baby. Let's go. Mark G. D. Mata. Who else? Marsha. G-Man. Brandon Gary. The gang's all here. Wallace. I'm digging it. White Magic. Ben. Let's go. Frank, what's up, dude? All right. We're going to talk World Series today. I made a bunch of slides. They're fancy looking. I got all the information you could ever want on the World Series. My 8-year-old has a Christie costume. He's a soul stealer. Oh, nice. Nice. He's just dressed up as a blonde chick. Just, hi, just going around touching nipples, holding snakes, stealing souls. This is what we do. What's up, Philip Barnard? Good to see you, buddy. So we're gonna talk World Series pretty in depth. It's here. We're gonna talk about it. If you got questions, you got feedback. What's up, Marty? All that. Let's get to it. Let's get to the nitty gritty because that is the most important thing that we can discuss. What's up, Matt? And then we got other stuff. We'll talk a little bit about this Brady ball, this 600 touchdown, and the stuff that he's agreed to give up to get it back. A Jordan shoe sold for a crazy amount of money. I got a bunch of non-sports stuff. Plenty to get to today. Okay, plenty to discuss. But let's get to the sports headlines first, because that's how we always start the show. Mike Tomlin has ended speculation about interest in college football openings. People are trying to tie Mike Tomlin to the USC job, to the LSU job. And quite frankly, Tomlin wasn't having it. He got a little upset. He got a little perturbed with the media. He's like, you don't ask Andy Reid this. You know, why are you asking me this? He threw out another name, but he was like, absolutely not. I have the greatest job in the world. There's not a booster with a bank account big enough to lure me into college football coaching. He was like, never say never, but never. I mean, he was pretty upset about it. And it's, I guess, in a way, if you want to take that as disrespect, maybe it is. I don't know. But he's right. Nobody's speculating if Andy Reid or Bill Belichick. I mean, Mike Tomlin is in that category, okay? Youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl. Never had a losing record in Pittsburgh. That dude is, what's up, Perry? What's up, Incarnate? That dude is one hell of a football coach, professional football coach, and it is a tad bit disrespectful to assume he would want to. I mean, that's what you assume by guys like Urban Meyer or Chip Kelly that just flame Nick Saban, that come to the league and flame out. You don't get dynasty coaches and then assume they might jump ship and go to an LSU gig from the Steelers. What? So I kind of get it, but I think the media has to ask those questions, I guess. But why you would pick Mike Tomlin, I don't know. Ex-New England Patriots safety Patrick Chung was charged with assault and battery. Boy, his Monday wasn't the best Monday, even though he put on Instagram, best Monday ever. And then he winds up in court on assault charges, assault of a family member. So that's not good. I don't know the specifics around it, but apparently it wasn't a good look for Mr. Chung. So he is I believe he showed up to court with a lawyer, and it was his baby's mother who was there filing the charges, filed civil charges, criminal charges, and did it all by herself. No lawyer present. So that was pretty interesting. The Packers have placed Devontae Adams on COVID. No! God, no, please, no. Why? No. There goes my fantasy team. I still have Stephon Diggs, but boy, that tandem of Diggs and Devontae Adams was murking. So that's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, Matt Wells was fired. We'll get to that in just a second. Way to jump ahead, Ben. God dang it, Ben. Stick with the class. The Jets have brought back in deteriorating quarterback Joe Flacco in a trade with the Eagles. They sent a 6th-round pick to the Eagles. And they brought back, oh Oh, speaking of fantasy, I didn't get that done. Sorry, Jen. I just didn't have time. When we were talking, I was pooping, so I didn't get to it. The Jets sent a 6th-round pick to the Eagles for Flacco, and if he plays a certain amount of games, it'll be a 5th-round pick. So it was a conditional. And I mean, hell, I think a 6th might be too much for Joe Flacco at this point. But you got to do what you got to do. I love that the Jets made a move. Bro, just go without a quarterback. Just go without a quarterback if that's the case. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to prove? You trying to win? Man, just run the Wildcat. Just run the Wildcat the whole game. It's the Jets. You're going to lose all these games anyways with Flacco or without. Just run the Wildcat. Save your draft picks, fools. Texas Tech. Here we go, Ben. Now you can skip ahead. Yeah, right. Perry said Flacco's still in the league. Yeah, him and Geno Smith hung out together all the time in the those guys are still playing party. Yeah, I know. We do need more likes, Nick. Tell them. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, 57. We getting there. We getting there. Hollywood been murking as a flex for me. Man, I had some dude go crazy on my YouTube channel. He was a big Hollywood Brown fan, and I had a joke in one of my Barry on Sports about him, and he just wouldn't let it go. I was like, bro, if you don't let this go, I'm going to have to block you. It was like yesterday with Pete and Joe Burrow. It's like, bro, okay. You've made your point. Shut up about it. Jesus. Some people get weird in the comments over players. Oh, by the way, over players that don't even know who you are. Settle down, people. Yeah, Christy's going to start stealing souls if y'all don't like this video. I'm just telling you, that's how it's going to go. You better not get your soul stolen from Christy. Go ahead, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Anyways, Texas Tech has fired Matt Wells after a 13-17 record. And who was it that they replaced him with? It doesn't matter. It's Texas Tech. And Ken Griffey Jr. got some ownership stake in the Mariners, so that's pretty cool. One of my all-time favorite baseball players, Ken Griffey Jr., getting an ownership stake in the Seattle Mariners. So that's pretty cool. Griffey, a big-time photographer post-baseball. So pretty dope. All right, let's get to some World Series. Are you guys ready to break this down? Are you guys ready to break this down? Are you guys ready? I haven't even really settled on my prediction yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a lot of information. We'll talk about the series. We'll talk about the gambling odds. We'll talk about how these teams match up. We'll talk about some individual player performances. We're going to get into all of that. So let's start with just what Vegas thinks overall. What's up, Total Dallas? Thank you for the like, buddy. Like number 38. Let's go. Bro, Nick, the sweetest swing in baseball, period. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, look there. There you go, White Magic. November 6th. I don't even care. Astronauts and foe. Okay. I think that's a little much. Here's what Vegas thinks. All right. Get Perry off the screen there. Get out of there. So overall, for the World Series as a whole, Astros are a -145. Braves are a +120. You can see their overall records for the season. Braves were 88-73. Astros were 95-96. I want to remind you, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but Braves were below 500 at the All-Star break. They had a late surge and push to win that division, but there was a long period of time where this Braves team was struggle busing it pretty bad, but ended up 88-73 overall. Their away record, Braves pretty good on the road, actually. 46-35. Astros obviously really good at home. When they're an underdog, the Braves are 38-14, and they are an underdog in this World Series and at least this opening game. And when the Astros are the favorite, they're 66-76. They like being the underdog, apparently. Braves +120, like I said, overall for the series. Astros a -145. That came down a little bit. Astros were a -150. I think it's fluctuated a little bit here and there. As you can see for game one, they have first of all set the over/under at 8.5. So they think that this is either going to be a 5-3 game or it can't be 4-4, but they think there's somewhere around 8 runs or 8.5 runs is the ideal scenario for this game. I think I would take the over in the game, just because both of these offenses right now clicking on all cylinders. Houston is a 1.5 run favorite at a plus 150. For the game, the Astros are minus 130. Braves are a plus 120. I do like that Braves at plus 120 for the game. I do. I think the Braves could cover that 1.5. I could see this being 4-3, 6-5. Braves are good on the road. If you think the Braves are still lose but can cover, I think they can. It's a good pitching matchup, and we'll get to that in just a second. But let's talk a little bit. So your pitching matchup, Charlie Morton, Framber Valdez. We'll get into that in just a minute. Let's just look at what these teams look like from a hitting and pitching perspective for the season. All right, now this is hitting categories for the year. Okay, this is hitting categories for the year. As you can see, I got the records up there, but Astros pretty dominant. Obviously, one of the best hitting teams in baseball. Surprisingly, Braves got a little pop. Stolen bases might as well be the same, but Braves with 239 home runs. They do have some power. Austin Riley, Freddie Freeman. No Ronald Acuna Jr. for the series. We'll get to injuries in just a little bit. But don't sleep on the Braves. They do have some pop and some power. They can put balls over the fences, okay? As we know can the Astros. But the Astros pride themselves on putting balls in play. Astros pride themselves on getting good pitches, seeing good pitches, hitting good pitches, staying in the zone, station to station if they have to. Lots of doubles, lots of extra base hits. You can see their OPS is pretty good, 783. I mean, this is a good hitting Braves team, all right? It's not like the Astros are by far and away better than Francisco. Astros are better than Burrow. It's not like the Astros are just like head and shoulders above the Braves at the plate. You can see the biggest difference. And I mean, the runs, okay, they scored 70-something more runs throughout the season. Walks pretty close, actually, when you think about how many each team has. OPS, that's pretty significant difference. Slugging, pretty close. Home runs, pretty close. Stolen bases, pretty close. The key metric here is strikeouts. That's the big difference here. Braves strike out 453 times over the season. Astros only 1222. And what that tells you is that sometimes the Braves can be a little undisciplined, more of a 3 true outcome type of team. They're going to get their walks, they're going to get their strikeouts, they're going to hit their home runs. Astros don't strike out a lot. They do like to walk a lot. They will draw a walk, and it doesn't matter where in the lineup they're at. We saw a very undisciplined Astros team through the first 3 games of the series at the plate. And once they got their stuff together and once they went back to their old school disciplined ways at the plate, that offense opened up again. And I think it was much easier for them through the line. Now, Correa, I wasn't impressed with him the last couple of games as much as I was in the beginning of the series and in the White Sox series. Correa chasing a little bit, maybe pressing a little bit. But this is a team that you're going to have to pitch in the zone to beat them. So Charlie Morton is going to have to throw strikes. And Charlie Morton throws strikes, so that's not a problem. Total Dallas said, how does the Astros ballpark compare with the Braves ballpark? Do they have a cheap home run spot like the Crawford boxes? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we can look at home and road home runs if you want to. I can pull that up, but yeah, I'm not sure that the Braves have a significant home run porch like Yankee Stadium or the Red Sox or whatever. By the way, nice subtle dig there, Total Dallas. You act like the Astros don't hit home runs on the road, and you act like every single home run they hit is a cheapie. Nice subtle dig there, pal. Let's see. I'm going to pull up Baseball Reference just so I can tell Total Dallas to shut the fuck up. Baseball Reference. And we'll go Houston Astros, and we'll see how many home runs they had on the road versus home. And then we'll do the same thing for the Braves. So let's see. 2021. Houston Astros. We want splits. Okay, team batting. There we go. Wait a minute. This isn't what I wanted. I need the splits. Where's the damn splits at? Here, I'm going to let you guys see this as well. Just instead of me wave a McRib at him and throw it. Yeah, the whole McRib thing. What's up, Matt? The McRib thing, I'm so over that. That's for you guys. I'm not doing no damn McRib discussions. Scenes. There we go. All right, let's put that up there. I didn't do my zoom out. Oh, well. So let's find the Astros splits. Oh, do they have splits? There we go. Batting splits. So here we go. Home and away. 105 home runs at home, 116 on the road. I think we can just stop right there. Sir Total Dallas, I would like to kindly invite you to go fuck yourself with your cheap porch home run bullshit ass chat message. Now you've made me curse. And I was going to do a clean show, but you had to get all snooty and snippy. Zoom out. And I would like to invite you to look at that and see that the Astros on the road hit more home runs than they did at home. Significantly more triples at home. More doubles on the road than at home. A OPS that's very similar. A slugging percentage very similar. On base very similar. So Total Dallas, please, sir, kindly tuck your peen up under your taint, put it in your beehole, and go bleep yourself. That was the cleanest way to tell someone to go fuck themselves you have ever heard in your whole life. Let's check the Braves. Let's see what the Atlanta Braves have done. Home and road splits. Good stats, Truman. It was a real question, not a dig. It was a dig, Total Dallas. It was a goddamn dig, and you know it. You rascal. Let's see. Here we go. 2021 Braves. There we go. And then we want batting. And then we go to splits. God bless America. All right. So here's your home and road splits for the Braves. 116 home runs at home, 123 on the road. So the Braves doing a good job on the road as well. Yes. Thank you, Christy, for blessing me. I think Total Dallas should be putting time out for the duration of the World Series. No. Total Dallas is my guy. Everybody's got to have a resident hater. That's Total Dallas. That's my dude. I dig it. How much money does Dallas spend on that stadium that looks like a giant tool shed? That's funny. Dude, Total Dallas, there's only a 10-foot difference in park, so even that, it's not like the Braves Stadium is a huge difference. Yeah. And the Braves doing a good job home and road. OPS pretty significantly, though, increased at home. Same with slugging. 116 home runs at home, 123 on the road. So, hitting better on the road. I dig it. That tells you something. Watch out for the Braves' power. Okay, let's get back to the slides now that we've been derailed by Total Dallas. But I'll leave that up, though, because we might need to reference that at some point. So let's get back to it, though. Zoom out. Oh, I don't have the zoom here. But as you can see, during the playoffs, Astros in every way pretty much better than the Braves at the plate. And that's been the thing. And the most significant one, though, is the strikeouts. Keep an eye on that. That's important. Okay. So let's talk hitting in the playoffs. How have the two teams done? Well, then, by the way, just so we're clear, each team has played in 10 games. So this isn't like, oh, well, the Astros, they played in 3 and then 4, and the Braves played in 7 and 5, and they've both played in 10 games. Level of competition can be discussed, but this is what the two teams have done in the playoffs this year. Astros hitting 13 home runs. Braves have hit 12. Astros slugging 443. Braves are slugging 407. OPS, Astros with a significant difference. Runs scored, walks. You can see, again, strikeout differences. Stolen bases. Astros actually stole more bases than the Braves this year. So this kind of plays out like it did in the regular season. Astros are just top to bottom a better lineup. That's just it. Now, I'm not selling the Braves short. With Riley and Freeman and everybody else, Albies, that's a damn good hitting team over there in the Atlanta Braves. So the Astros while they are a better team top to bottom 1 through 9, lineup wise, hitting wise, it's not so much so that it's disproportionate. Astros pitching staff has their work cut out for them. Now let's talk about pitching. Let's compare the two teams statistically, shall we? Now this is for the season. Obviously, you're not going to get 66 quality starts in 10 playoff games. ERA, Astros with a better team ERA, a better team whip. If you don't know what whip is, it's walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. It's a good idea of the type of control and how much a team pitches in the zone. Do they give up a lot of hits? Do they put a lot of men on base? It's a really good indicator. Anything around 1.2, 1.2 is decent to good. 1.1 is really good, and a 1.0 in that neighborhood is outstanding. So, on base average. So that's your opponent's batting average. Astros giving up a 228 batting average, Braves 234. Quality starts, Braves had one more quality start than the Astros during the regular season. Pretty much a wash, but okay, you give them the check mark. Home runs allowed, the Braves have allowed 4 less home runs as a pitching staff than the Astros. Strikeouts. Surprisingly, Astros do get a lot of swings and misses. And walks, Braves pitching giving up less walks. So I want to bring your attention to this because I think this is one of those keys to the game that we talk about and that you hear baseball aficionados talking about. And I think statistically you can look at it and say, well, what stands out? Well, we see OPS and slugging and home runs and stolen bases and all these things look the same, even through a pitching perspective. All of this stuff looks the same. But where these two teams really differ is strikeouts, both when they're at the plate and when they're in the field. Astros striking out a major league low 1,222 times on the season. Braves at 1,453, pretty significant amount of strikeouts. And from a pitching perspective, Astros get a lot of strikeouts. Braves don't give up a lot of walks. So I think that's a telltale sign for me. If the Astros get a lot of swings and misses and the Braves are doing a lot of swinging and missing, I think that might be a key to this series. Can the Astros get the Braves to chase, go up out of the zone, maybe taking some first pitch strikes? VB. I saw, oh my God, VB. There you go. He said, do you think the Astros stats were slightly misleading because of how often they played the trash-ass Rangers? Let's go. It's very possible. It's very, very possible. But that's going to be a key for me. Swings and misses. Keep an eye on that. What's up, Ray? Keep an eye on that. Swings and misses. Now, there's hitting in the playoffs. I showed you that. Here's pitching performances in the playoffs. Well, we know what the Astros did. We know the struggles that they had early on in that Red Sox series. We saw how they struggled. Figured it out. Maybe they were tipping pitches. Who knows? But in every single category, that Braves pitching staff led by Fried and Charlie Morton and the back end of a bullpen that is really about as good as any in the playoffs at the very least. Atlanta has the advantage in every pitching category in the playoffs, mind you. So when we compare those, wow, look at that. Astros lead in every hitting category. Braves lead in every pitching category. So anybody with half a brain cell can look at this and say, it's Braves pitching versus Astros hitting. Which one is going to make a difference? We've seen the Astros do this, right? We've seen this all year where regardless of the type of pitching you're getting, even in the Red Sox series, they give up a couple of grand slams. That'll hopefully never happen again. But even with that, the Astros were still putting up 4, 5, 6 runs a game. You're going to have to score 5 or 6 runs to beat the Astros, period. Can this Braves team do that? Yes. I think at the end of the day, when you see all these stats, when you see Vegas give you the lines that are really not a significant or overwhelming difference between the two teams. When you see the fact that the Astros are a minus 145 and the Braves are a plus 20, Vegas is telling you something. these two teams are evenly matched. Both of these teams are really good. And I'm with you, Donna. This makes me very nervous. I don't like some of these pitching matchups. When you see Charlie Morton coming in, followed by Fried, and you're Fromber, and who knows, is Urquidy going to go in game 2? Did they say? I saw somebody post in the chat that they mentioned it would be Luis Garcia in game 3, which I don't know if I would pitch Garcia on the road in game 3, but okay. I mean, I guess. But I'm looking at the schedule, and it does look like Max Fried versus Jose Urquidy in game 2, which means Luis Garcia in game 3. And that would be game 2 is obviously tomorrow. Game 3 is Friday. So, yeah, it would have to be Luis Garcia. I'm going to be honest with you. That Fried Urquidy matchup, significant advantage Braves. Significant advantage Braves. Now, I would like to see, and let me do this here. Pull up. I want to see something. Oh my gosh. There we go. I'm going to go back to this. Zoom out. Now let's go to the schedule. There's your matchups. I'd like to see something here. I'd like to see what Fried does in these batter versus pitcher game logs. So you can see he's only faced. He's not. This is bad news. Okay. Total Dallas says Sports Alert, Mavericks, Rockets if you need something to watch tonight. Jesus Christ. Are you shitting me? Now, somebody give Total Dallas a 5-minute timeout. I'm not going to stand for this. That was egregious. Whoever we have moderator-wise, give Total Dallas a 5-minute timeout for that ridiculous ass message. Ridiculous. Yeah, definitely. I'm guessing Greinke in game 4, or at least he gets a start. But yeah, nah, I don't think you see. I mean, look, as well as Christian Javier has pitched, but if you can get a one time through the order out of Zach Greinke, maybe 2 innings, goes out and gives you 50 pitches, and then you turn the ball over to Javier. That formula seemed to work. I'd be okay with that. You don't have to start Javier, but I'd be okay letting him go. Because, I mean, Greinke, first time through the order, has proven to be somewhat effective. There will be no basketball slander. If there will be, if you're trying to tell me that you should watch the Mavs Rockets game over the World Series, it'll be all basketball slander. Did we get him timed out? Did we get him timed out? Okay, good. Total Dallas was timed out by Shelby. Very good. That ridiculous ass comment. What a dumbass thing to say. Oh, you know he's going to be there to piss off Astros fans. Of course he is. That's what he does. All right, so this Max Fried pitching matchup. You can see here, and I like to do this. I like when I'm looking at and comparing teams. I like to spend some time looking at that. How do these teams stack up? Like, what have these pitchers done? So we can see Max Fried hasn't played or hasn't pitched against the Astros, which, by the way, significant advantage to Fried because the Astros have proven time and again when they haven't seen a pitcher before, just in clubhouse history, they've not fared well. And for the most part, when you don't have a lot of data on a pitcher, it's much more difficult to, if you've never seen them, even though you may have info, if you've never seen them, it becomes a challenge. Look at that average away, 148. Oh, boy. He's pretty good on the road, folks. He's pretty good. Let's go back here and pull up Jose Urquidy. Well, that's the second round. That's the second matchup there. So Urquidy versus the Braves. They've also never seen Urquidy. So that's good news. Let's take a look at tonight's matchup. Fromber versus Charlie Morton. Fromber. Okay. Got a few ABs. Jorge Soler. Rosario, who's absolutely on fire. The NL MVP. NLCS MVP, I should say. And then Charlie Morton versus the Astros. Obviously, we've seen that occur several times. Astros hitting 277. 1 home run, 9 RBIs. It appears that let's see, Brantley hitting 200, Altuve hitting 200, Jordan hitting 500, 1 for 2. It looks like Maldonado might have the best average against with a significant number of at-bats. Yuli 1 for 3, that doesn't count. Maldonado, machete with 13 ABs against Charlie Morton with a 538 average. There's your key to the game, people. Maldonado with a 9-hole, knocking in runs. All right, so there's a decent amount of information about the game. I'm curious what you guys think. What are your predictions? What are your thoughts? I feel like the Astros this is a very, as much as it's a winnable game for them at home in game 1 of the World Series, this is a very losable game with Charlie Morton. And so is game 2. The Braves could not be happier with how all this sets up. To have Fried and Morton, when you saw Fried's numbers on the road, to have those guys going in games 1 and 2, that's a significant advantage. I would take that all day, every day over Framber and Urquidy. Now, it also, you got to think about this. Which Framber are you going to get? Are you going to get first start Framber versus the Red Sox? Or are you going to get second start Framber versus the Red Sox? Are you going to get what Urquidy gave you? Or are you going to get the Urquidy we know? No, I agree, Dan. And if that's an advantage for the Braves and Fried, then it's also an advantage for the Astros. Right? Hal said, I'm worried since the Braves aren't a super popular team the past years, people are realizing how good they are and are looking past them. Oh, no doubt about it. Astros fans, if it's not Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, they're like, meh. They don't worry us. I'm going to tell you right now, man, this Braves team, this is a damn good baseball team. And I think that's why I showed you those lines. That's why I wanted you guys to see what Vegas says, because Vegas says the same thing. I mean, look at them. They're 38-14 when they're the underdogs. $38-14. That's pretty damn good. So let's see. I stand by Stros and 6. Stros and 6. Stros and 6. Donna said, just nervous, no prediction from me. Gotcha. Braves were the team to watch. Yes, indeedy. Braves in 7. Okay. I really don't know. I really don't have a feel for this. Hal says Braves in 6. I think the Astros have enough to make this a 7-game series no matter what. What's up, J-Ro? I'm just trying to lay it out on the line, J-Ro. I'm just telling the people what they could expect. Because I think that's how close this series is. At the end of the day, when you see everything I just showed you, when you see this, when you see this, when you see this, and when you see this, when you compare this to this, these teams are really even. That's why I do think at least it goes 7. Who wins in 7? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. White Magic said Dodgers crying in 4. Man, I really don't know. I have sat here and thought, okay, it'll come to me during the show. I really don't know. I have a bad feeling about tonight's game, I'll tell you that much. But hopefully they go out and murk Charlie Morton. Oh, that's bold. Stros in 6, Maldonado works Morton twice, wins MVP. I can see Maldonado winning MVP too, just throwing out runners and whatnot. Walt over here. I predict a clash of titans of epic proportions. One man, one ball, one stick, one glove. In a world where baseball is played by men on a field with grass and dirt. One man, one glove, one ball, one stick. I'm going to say Astros in 7. Here's why. I think at the end of the day, Astros in 2. Well, now that's a bold strategy, Cotton. What the Astros? And I do not. Houston will be loud. Hopefully bats will match energy. Here's why I'm saying Astros in 7. At the end of the day, these two teams are equal. Braves have the advantage in the rotation. Astros have the advantage in the lineup. In the field, defensively, these teams are about the same. I think if I recall, error-wise, fielding percentage-wise, they're pretty much equal. J-Ro said, okay, you don't know. I appreciate the honesty. Well, so here's why I'm going to go. I got to give a prediction. You're right, J-Ro. And these two teams are evenly matched. I think that this is a coin flip series, but I'm going to say Astros in 7. And the only reason I'm saying Astros in 7, well, 2 reasons. One, they've been here before. They understand the significance of each of these games in the World Series. They understand they don't have to panic if they get down. If the Astros were to go on the road and lose the first 2 games in a World Series, maybe this was the Dodgers and they didn't have home field advantage, they would not be coming back to Minute Maid Park in Houston in a panic because they know, look, we're good. All we got to do is take care of business at home and go split on the road and we win the World Series. Getting down, splitting at home against the Red Sox. And then losing game 3. No panic. So I think that this 5 years of ALCS experience, 2 World Series trips, I think that is huge. I think that is so important. And the Braves are they're not a young team anymore. They're kind of like Astros 2017-ish, right? They had a couple of years in 2015 when they gave the Royals all they can handle. And then you thought, okay, this team's going to make some noise. And then by 2017, that's absolutely what they did. That's what these Braves team is. That's who they are. Good pitching, good hitting, good fielding. It's a good baseball team. They deserve to be in this World Series. This wasn't a fluke and this wasn't luck. But the other thing. So experience is one thing. But the other thing, don't let them mislead you in the press and in the public and in the post games and tell you that it's not important for them to win, them being the Astros, to win this World Series, to shut every single person up that has called them cheaters and booed them and chanted fuck Altuve and booed them mercilessly all year long. They are 4 wins away, max 7 games away from the ultimate shut the fuck up move. And don't you think for 1 second that they are not motivated by that. They absolutely are motivated by that. They've been motivated by that all year, and here they are 4 wins away from achieving that. Because once they win this World Series, once they do this, 1, Correa and Altuve may never play again. There's motivation. 2, all of the people that have said they are cheaters, sure, they're going to continue to boo and call them cheaters, but you can't take away 2 World Series in 5 years. There's no asterisk on this World Series as far as we know. There's no scandals involved in this World Series as far as we know. It's the same core that was here in 2017 that is here in 2021 with the same results. Don't think for 1 second that doesn't matter to them. It absolutely matters. They're human beings. Yeah, they're athletes, 1 game at a time, cliche shit. They are human beings and they want this. And I think that if these 2 teams are evenly matched, experience and desire. Now, I'm not telling you that the Braves don't want to win. I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying the Astros have a little bit more on the line, as in their entire reputation. Listen, I don't think it's outlandish to say what I'm about to say. I don't think it's crazy to say what I'm about to say. But the reputation, long term, including Hall of Fame, is on the line for some of these guys. Jose Altuve was a great player, marred in the cheating scandal, right? We've seen these Astros type runs with Bonds and McGuire and Sosa and some of these cats. They never really had a chance at redemption after that, right? Because they just did it until they retired. But this cheating moment was a year and a half in a full career of a guy like Jose Altuve or Carlos Correa. And if they can say, look, yeah, that year and a half, if you want to say that that was an anomaly or an Astros season or whatever it is, fine. But you can't say that in 2021. And I, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, whoever else, was here for both, and we got it done without cheating. So you're still a World Series champion with no asterisk. And I'm telling you guys, it's a big deal for these guys. It really is. Let me see what we have here. Alex Morton pitched 10.2. What is that? Those people who bought mattresses are going to be stressed out. Yeah, no doubt. Virginia Belt, we said, sorry if it's covered. Is it 232 or 22111? It's 232. 232, which is a scary thing. But it is 232. I personally like 22111, but there's a lot of travel in that. But I kind of like that idea. I think basketball does that, but I wouldn't. That wouldn't bother me. He said he would incarnate. What did I say? Oh, if World Series wins, Total Dallas will shut up. Yeah, well, that'd be good. What's up, John Garza? So they won't play together again. That's part of what I was saying earlier, right? We know that Correa is a free agent at the end of the season. We know he's going to be chasing big bucks. We've heard numbers of upwards of $400 million for Carlos Correa. And that may be too rich for Jim Crane's blood. And we've heard these guys actually say, I want to win one more as a duo. We've heard Altuve and Correa say that. And don't think Bregman and Yuli and that entire infield, that core four of this team that's been here through all of this, doesn't want to win a World Series together before it's possible that they're broken up. And I think that kind of motivation has driven them all year. Why would you let up now? So if I had to pick, and I do, I'm gonna go Astros in 7. Not because they're the better team, but they just a little more motivated for several different reasons. Hey, Justin Swinford, you are the greatest assistant producer in the world. And we got to do a birthday shot coming up in just a second. But before we do that, let me tell you guys about Dan's Seafood and Wings, because we also going to talk fantasy today. I got fantasy football updates for you from the fantasy leagues. Ooh, and those leagues are sponsored by Dan's Seafood and Wings. We're giving away $800 in cash and prizes to our fantasy winners. 4 fantasy leagues, all courtesy of Dan's Seafood and Wings. If you want the best seafood in the city of Houston, get your booty on over to Dan's. 2 locations for you. One on the southwest side on South Gessner, one on the northeast side on Uvalde. Both locations have the same menu, and the menu is amazing. You're going to love it if you're into boiled spicy shrimp, if you're into, even if you like that New Orleans barbecue shrimp. Now, Nora will not eat shrimp or seafood from anywhere else. It's Dan's or we're not getting it. Okay, that's just how she is now. This is the truth. In fact, when I wasn't sure if Dan's was going to re-up for the year with the show, she was like, "Does that mean we can't eat there anymore?" I was like, "No, babe, we'll still eat there." She was going to be heartbroken about it, but she absolutely loves it. So you should take her word for it. That boiled spicy shrimp, the bomb. New Orleans barbecue shrimp wasn't her thing because she didn't like the shrimp looking back at her, but it's delicious. Grill platters, lo mein. I like their shrimp po' boy. The wings are delicious. Even my mom, when she went there, was like, their salads are delicious. Who gets a salad at Dan's? That mom. Jenny is mom. But go check it out. It's Dan's Seafood and Wings. Follow them on Instagram at Eat at Dan's. Follow them online, eatatdans.com. And I saw something they were doing that was cool. Somebody tagged me on it. It was they're serving food at something. I gotta Let me go see what it was again. I want to make sure I get this right and give them the plug. Let's see. Eat at Dan's. There we go. They said they were doing something they were pretty excited about. Oh, they'll be selling seafood at Astro World Fest. Yeah. So Dan's will be at Astro World Fest with a booth. So if you're going to Astro World Fest, make sure you check out Dan's. It's the best seafood in H-Town. Hey, make sure you put some Dan's in your mouth. I don't know why that went blank there. I'm not a shrimp guy, but catfish po' boys go hard. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is another World Series win enough to keep Correa? Good question, Philip. I don't believe so. I think another World Series is enough to, in fact, maybe give Carlos we got one more in. Now I can leave because this business is wrapped up, right? We did it and accused of cheating. We did it when we didn't cheat. We wrapped it up. That's done. So I think in a lot of ways it could be counterintuitive or I guess counterintuitive is the right word. In keeping Carlos. Because that sucks. But it's true. He wants to win one more before he goes where he goes. I don't think Carlos Correa, I think there's a good chance he still could be an Astro, but I think that the number is going to be, one, driven up by the market, and two, is Jim Crane to be willing to pay it. And three, is he going to even consider giving Houston a hometown discount? I don't think he will. I think he's earned it. This whole my time thing, that's great, but that's him. That's him telling you, I'm about to get paid because of the way I performed this year and last year, and I'm not injured anymore. Ben says allegedly Correa is also doing the math on New York, Cali taxes to see if that payday is worth it in the long term. Well, there is that. You're also, though, don't forget, Ben, it's only 81 games. The other 81, you're taxed on where you make the money. You got a P flip? All right, we'll take a quick break. I need to know, Barry, with Deshaun, will he be shipped out this week? Well, listen, my sources, I don't know if it's this week, but it certainly could be before the trade deadline. That's what my sources are saying, and they're hearing. So, yeah, I think Mora, Virginia? Okay. The spam calls are bullshit. Yeah, I think Deshaun will be traded before November 2nd. I think it's probably Miami. But you never know. I mean, nobody knows with them and Miami and the Astros. Brian said, as a Yankees fan, I don't want to pay him for more than 8 years, $240. Oh, you definitely ain't getting Carlos Correa for that. Fidel said, can we get some dope on the break? Oh, that's a good question, Paul. I think it's been easy on the NFL right now to not have to put him on the commissioner's exempt list because the Texans have agreed to pay him but not play him. And so it's made the NFL not have to make that decision. But should they trade him to a team who's looking to do something and expecting, hey, we can still salvage and save our season, like Carolina, who's been mentioned now that they're making a serious and significant run. Maybe, I mean, they were 3-2 before this week. They're still in the playoff mix, they think. So, it's tough to predict. No, this is definitely not happening. I'm already scrambling to get my laundry done. I've got to do Sports Riot Live tonight. I'm definitely not doing 3 hours today. I can't. I've got to get ready to go on the road. I leave for Tulsa in the morning. I got to be out of here by 10 a.m. I'm going to be doing Astros sidecast on Sports Riot Live, which is going to be 3 to 4 hours of my night consumed. I wish I could, guys, but I just can't do a third hour today. I will play sitting on the corner doing dope for y'all, but I can't do a third hour. I just can't. I got too much to get done before I leave town. Yeah, so game and town. That's correct, Mark G. That's all right. It's a good topic, Paul, even though it was selfish in nature. Yeah, those spam calls are out of control. They're getting old. And Mark G is right. So you can live, if you play for the Yankees, let's say, but you do a 3-game series here in Houston, you don't pay income tax on that money. But if you live in Houston and you go play the Yankees in New York, you pay income tax on that money for those 3 games. You pay the state income tax. As a comic, I can tell you right now, I'm about to head to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the week. The money I make, I have to pay Oklahoma income tax on. Every year, I hate it, but every year when I file my taxes, I file my federal taxes. I don't have to file state taxes because of Texas not having a state income tax. But I do have to file in like Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arkansas, Kansas, Minnesota, like anywhere I do comedy that has a state income tax, I have to file a separate return. And since I use TurboTax, I got to pay for the fucking state edition for that too. I end up spending like $400 filing taxes just because of all the state returns I got to file. So it sucks. Anyways, yeah, it's trash. Anyways, that comes into it, and you know, players consider that, but still half of your income won't be taxed. And you know, obviously when you play the Marlins and the Rays, you're not getting taxed in Florida. So I spend a lot of money on TurboTax for sure. Yeah, Ben said I started a company. The tax shit is making my head spin. Dude, I have to pay every month. I have to pay my estimated taxes. Every quarter I pay sales tax on the merch I sell. Then every time I get paid, what I do, Ben, this is just the easiest way for me to do it. So anytime I get like a Patreon payment or YouTube sends me a super chat money or whatever, Twitch, whether it be from Sportsrite or whatever, as soon as the money comes in, the very first thing I do, I have 2 accounts on my online. I have my checking and my savings. And the very first thing I do when that money hits my account is I take 25% of it and transfer it to my savings account. And then on the 15th of every month, I take whatever's in that account and send it to the government. I just send them 25% of my income every month. Just got to do it, man. That's just because you think about it, if you're not, if you were working, if I was getting a steady check from somewhere, yeah, I wouldn't see it. They would do it automatically. Yeah, I know. It's going to rain tomorrow. I'm not happy about that. And yeah, you're right. Oh, that reminds me, Philip. I'm glad you said that. I have until November 11th to get my my defensive driving done. Maybe I'll do that this week while I'm in Tulsa. 30%. I think that's more based household income. So I do 25. I didn't end up owing last year. In fact, last year got a nice little chunk of change back. So it may be overkill, but it's worth it. I'd rather do that than get taxed. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about good talk on the Astros, by the way. Yeah, J-Ro knows all about that payroll tax, or not payroll tax, but self-employment tax and all that crap. That's the worst. I can't wait until I make enough money to just have an accountant. And then I'm actually thinking about doing the TurboTax, or not the TurboTax, but the QuickBooks where you just pay somebody to do your books for you. I'm seriously considering doing that. But my books aren't too complicated right now. Mark said I need to take a business management class. Well, one way I learned about this, Mark, is just owning my own business for 2 decades. Just different businesses, doing different things. You learn about it all, and you always get better at it, man. Lots of research. Never. On my deathbed. Christy said, which Dan's location do y'all eat at? I think it depends. I think that's split. Yeah, Ben said, I'm absolutely getting an account and I do not want to screw this up. It's a good call, buddy. If you just allocate a certain amount of money, you're in good shape. Just allocate a certain amount of money, you'll be fine. All right, let's take a quick break. I don't have a break video for you, but I'm going to pee. I'm going to play Sitting on the Corner Doing Dope. When we come back, we're going to talk Tom Brady. We're going to talk about a rookie Michael Jordan shoe that sold for more than Michael Jordan made his rookie year. What? Yeah, we'll talk about that. I've got some other non-sports stuff for you. I want to talk. We haven't even talked about the whole Alec Baldwin thing. Dude's over here just shooting people. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss the Brady ball. We can talk about Monday Night Football. The Seahawks are broken. Figure out what's wrong with them. We'll get to all that and a whole lot more. I gotta find my. But until then, let's take a quick 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming right back. I know you raggedy hoes. When the break hits, you're like, well, I'm out. I'm not sitting through this shit anymore. So sit on the corner and do some dope with us. I'll be back in less than 5. Let me pee, grab a water, and we'll get after it right after this. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. This is Barry on Deck. Stick around.
I got your bitch. Been down the goddamn corner doing dope. Been down the goddamn corner doing dope. Been down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. They are to be ashamed. Been down the goddamn corner doing dope. Been down the goddamn corner doing dope. Been down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same
Hey, welcome back to hour number 2 of Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. Those of you that did. I'm pretty good, guys. Not bad. Not bad, party people. I think we only lost like 2 people. Well done. Sorry it took so long. I had to do some laundry. Yeah. It's exhausting. They're working on my front yard, too. We had a leak since March of this year on the water main, and I just kept putting it off and putting it off. They finally came out and fixed it. Tore up my grass. It's a whole mess. Now they're fixing it now, and boy, it looks bad. They've ruined it. All right, enough about me. Let's get to some more sports here. So, we can do a little Monday Night Football, Seahawks, Saints. I know you guys, a lot of you probably don't give a shit about it, but the Seahawks are broken. I think we can all agree with that. No Russell Wilson, and I think even Pete Carroll said it. He's like, look, I've been here long enough to realize that I've benefited from Russell Wilson being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL year in and year out. And when you don't have him, it looks bad and it goes bad. And that's exactly what happened. It looked bad. It's gone bad. And it is bad for Pete Carroll right now. And not much you can do about it. Zoom out. I mean, if you're relying on Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson, J-Ro, that was your first time hearing sitting on the corner doing dope. I'll have to show you the next time I'm there. I'll show you what that is. I'll show you what it is. It's from a meme, bro. We started that early on the show just by fun, and then it just became a thing. It just became part of the show's culture. But I'll explain it to you. White Magic. Of course White Magic is going to say that. Who's more surprising, Seahawks or Chiefs? It's got to be the Chiefs. It's got to be the Chiefs because you knew the Chiefs defense was bad. It's always been not great, but they're still somewhat healthy. Now, if the Chiefs didn't have Patrick Mahomes, then you might say, well, yeah, now who's the surprise? But I think it's got to be the Chiefs. No, you're right. No Chris Carson, no Russell Wilson. It does matter. But when you're getting 167 yards passing and you're getting 35 yards rushing from your lead back, things are in dire straits. And that defense, that's a good Saints defense that they played. It's a really good Saints defense that they played. And the track was sloppy and it was rainy and ugly and a boring game. I'm so glad I didn't sit around and watch that whole game. Walt said, I thought that the Saints would win 9 or 10 games. Not so sure about that now. Look, that defense is going to carry them a long way. Okay, Walt, I'm still not worried. I still think that they're a wild card team. I mean, they went on the road, hostile environment, sloppy conditions. Yeah, Seattle missed a couple field goals. What did, oh boy, let's see, 1 for 3. Nonetheless, I mean, a win's a win, right? We sit here and talk about the Lions being 0-7, but they're close. Look, a win's a win. It doesn't matter how you get it. This says more to me about the Seahawks than it does the Saints. And the Saints had a rookie kicker. I mean, the kid started Monday? Comes in and knocks down a couple, including the game winner late with a minute or so left. Was it a pretty game for the Saints? No. But I think they can ride that defense significantly this season. I mean, they're 4-2. Walt, what are you so upset about? 4-2, one of the best defenses in football. Yeah, and Jameis is just out here eating dubs, yelling at players. Nice little scrap he got into. I missed it too. I'm so mad. So Donna said the Manning cast was great. Because I'm going to be on the road, I had to be a good husband, and I told Nora, look, we sat down and we trying to catch up on the latest season of Blacklist, so I didn't watch. I think I tuned into the last quarter or less of the game and forgot that the Manning sidecast was on. Well, you kiss my ass. You not being worried doesn't make me feel better. Saints are not a good team. I didn't say they were great. The Saints are a wild card team, bro. The Saints are a wild card team, Walt. Relax. I mean, for what it's worth, they'll get bounced in the wild card, but they're a wild card team at least. Boy, but the Seahawks. What do you do? No wins at home, 0-3 for the first time since I think they said 1993 or some shit. I'm not done yet, White Magic. Don't you dare spoil it for me. I swear to God, I'll ban you from my life if you spoil Blacklist for me. We're in the middle of, I think we're on episode 8. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I think Russ being hurt shows you something about not just the Seahawks, but this league. And we know this, right? How critical and crucial that position is. How critical and crucial the quarterback position is. Go Stros. Hey, John, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Much love to you. Have a great weekend or a great weekend. Enjoy the Astros. Enjoy the baseball. Go Stros, man. Happy Halloween. Thank you, buddy. We'll see you Monday. And Amos, that's a good point. Seahawks been playing Russ Save Me Ball. I mean, when you think about, people like, they got DK Metcalf now and Tyler Lockett, and Russ makes those guys look good. And they had somewhat of a running game for a while, but Russ was the Band-Aid. It's kind of like what I heard one of the talking heads on ESPN talking about the Chiefs too. And, Patrick Mahomes has been getting away with a lot of stuff. He's been making the Chiefs look good, right? And now that magic is gone, he's not getting away with stuff. And I talked on here about the too high safety stuff, and I don't want to take credit for that. Somebody else talked about it, and then you paid attention to it, and you see it. They mentioned it again last night that the Chiefs just don't know how to handle that right now. Chiefs have a lot of problems, but the Chiefs still have their starting quarterback. That's a big thing. Yeah, he's blocked on Twitter. He corrected my spelling. He knows the rules. Everybody knows the rules. Everybody knows the rules. I've said this a million billion times. I'm a 47-year-old grown-ass man. If I misspell something, it's either just because I didn't know how to spell the word or it's a typo. But I don't need another grown person correcting me. And this is not a personal thing against White Magic. I'm sure what he did was out of innocence and whatnot. But I have said it a million times. If anybody, including my mother, I will block the shit out of her. I don't give a fuck. I will. If Nora was on Twitter and corrected my spelling, I would block her. So White Magic can catch these Twitter block hands, okay? Everybody can. For God's sakes, I blocked people I worked with, and they're still mad about it. Oh, well. I've made a rule. Everybody knows the rule. That's it. Look. I swear to God, I'll block her. She knows the rules. White Magic said, I didn't correct it. I merely suggested it was probably spelled in a different... Come on, fam. You know what you did. You know damn well what you did. Yes, I would block Nora. I absolutely would. She knows it. Trust me, Nora would block me first. She'd be like, God, you can't spell. You're an embarrassment to me. And block me. Yeah, well, that was a bit. Draft night on Sports Right, that was a whole thing. That was a bit. Thank you, Christy. Duh, right? I merely suggested there was maybe another way to spell that. That's a goddamn spelling correction. Anyways. Yeah, she just says nope on TikToks. Yeah, she did that. Never mind. I got to write that down. I'll turn that into a bit on stage because that really happened. Sorry, I'm going to write this down right now. I had somebody call me from Mora, Virginia. M-O-R-A, Virginia was their name. That's sus. That's super sus. Okay, sorry. You have to write shit down when it comes up. All right, so yeah, Seahawks broken. Walt's not feeling good about the Saints. I still stand by them being a wild card team, mostly because look, let's just run through. Now that we're through week 7, Walt, let's take a look-see at it. Here, let's see what the playoff picture would look like. I can't remember how many wild card teams are there? Oh, speaking of shout outs, we got to do our birthday today. Can't forget him. He knows who he is. He better still be here. Francisco said my fantasy team is broken. Let's see. Exactly. Christy, see, you know what's up. White Magic is the ultimate troll. How many wildcard teams is it again? I don't know why I have this mental block in my head. Is it 2, 3? I'm totally blanked out on it. I totally forget. I'm trying to figure this out. Let's see. There you go. 7 playoff teams. See, Walt? What are you worried about, buddy? Nolan sitting comfortably in the 6th spot. Because it's 4 divisions and then 3 wild cards. Okay. Yeah. What are you worried about, Walt? Look at that. New Orleans sitting at 4-2. I mean, it's just a game above the Vikings and the Falcons. The Falcons won't catch. Now, fuck around and lose to them, that's going to be an issue. But I wouldn't be worried about Minnesota either. Fidel is not turning 47. All right, Fidel, let's do it. You guys, we've given it away, but who gives a shit, y'all? It's Fidel's birthday. Let's go! Birthday shots for Fidel, you guys. Tomorrow is his birthday. There's no show tomorrow, and I'll be damned if we don't wish Fidel a happy birthday. Now, because it's Fidel, I was going to do a shot out of a thimble, but I'll use a regular size shot glass. Fidel, buddy, you know I love you, man. Thank you for being a day one. Thank you for being here, rocking with me, supporting me. I appreciate all of that. This shot is for you, homie. Happy birthday tomorrow. I hope you get roadhead or a hand job or whatever it is you're into, man. Cheers to you, Fidel. Happy birthday. Y'all wish Fidel a happy birthday. And if you're feeling like it, that Jameson hit different. There's his Venmo at Fidel-Lamone-13. Show him some birthday love. Get him some money for some drinks and whatnot. Fidel is definitely a diehard rock until the wheels fall off deckhead, and I appreciate you, buddy. Much love and happy birthday. Good times. Okay. One of us. Oh, that's cool. Y'all met. That's dope. Incarnate, rest in peace. What the? Oh. All right. Somebody time out. Incarnate. You just want to be a jackass, talk about birthday months. Get out of here. Okay. So did some Monday Night Football. Now we have to do fantasy update for you guys. And this is always, I don't know why I do this. I mean, I know I do, but because you guys love it and love to talk shit to each other. But at the same time, we always lose a shit ton of people because they couldn't give a fuck less about internal fantasy. They just don't give a shit. Hold on. I got to pull up the right one here. Well, Jen. I didn't have the slides made. Okay. Who dimed buddy out? Oh, Incarnate. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Christy did snitch a little bit, but oh well. Don't do snitch worthy shit and you won't get snitched on. That's not a good motto. That's a terrible motto. All right, I'm gonna upload this to. Nope. Let me just get the fantasy stuff uploaded. So much pressure. It was so late in the game. Takashi Spark. You leave her alone, okay? You leave her alone. All right, let's see. Fantasy 2021. I'm getting it, you guys. I'm getting it. Hold on. We're just going to go through the spreadsheet itself. No fancy graphics this time. There we go. Still doesn't look right, though. Okay. All right, let's do this. Zoom out. All right, here's your fantasy updates. Week 7. This is the BZH 420 League. You can see that Josh, aka 713 Hooligan, beat Jared Taylor 97-78. Titan Hugo beat Jeff Bell. Wow, 109-56. And then Brandon Gary beat Robert Likes Beer, the king of the deckheads, 140 to 107. BZH beat Amos 138 to 129 in a highly contested game. And boy, Incarnate absolutely smacked the shit out of Eric Resendez. 180 to 107. Good Lord. Brandon Gary improves to 7-0. Eric Resendez falls to 5-2. Titan Hugo and BZH at 4-3. Jared Taylor at 2-5, bringing up the rear like he likes it. Incarnate now at 5-2. Josh at 4-3. Jeff Bell 2-5 along with Amos, and then Robert Likes Beer. He might be the king of the deckheads, but he is ass in fantasy at 0-7. Not a good look, Robert. Get your shit together. All right, over in Walt's league. TDP beat White Magic. Bro, White Magic, what happened to you, fam? 152 to 83. Did you even try? Did you forget to did you bench everybody? What is it, every player you had on a bye week in week 7? Fidel 145, Drew 121, Walt 118 to 94 over D Mata. Leave a Shock beating up on House 126 to 94. Y'all remember when House was good at fantasy for a week? That was the day. Matt Poche beat up on KD 153 to 119. And here's your standings now. TDP at 4-3. What a shit ass East that is. What a terrible 4-3 is your leader. 4-3 is your leader. Drew is 3-4 with House. KD 2-5 with Walt. Walt, bro, what are you doing? Walt gets a win over D Mata, the lowly ass D Mata, who by the way still has a better record than Walt. Fidel 6-1, the birthday boy. White Magic at 4-3, along with Shock and Matt Poche and D Mata bringing up the rear in the West at 3-4. Over in Lil Uzi's league, Steven the Weather Guy, 153 to 99. Sylvia beat up league manager Uzi. That one wasn't even close. 54-point ass whooping. Dandy Dan, 144 to 142 over Keith. That's a pretty close race there. Well done to both of those gentlemen. It always sucks when you could beat most of the people in your league, but you still lose, right, Keith? Michael Caravantes, 130. Chris Reyes, 113. Mark G, 145. Cisco, did you even field a team? 64 points? Is that the lowest point total of anybody? Oh, no, 56. Jeff Bell, Jesus. Jeff, what are you doing, man? Get your shit together. Well, Cisco, at least Jeff Bell's in one of the leagues. Brandon Martinez, B-Mart beat up Christopher Mina 131 to 124. So now look at this. The hot race. Mina's 4-3 and everyone else in the East is 3-4. Chris Reyes, Francisco, Keith, and Uzi. Over in the West, the BiffNet Footies, Sylvia's 5-2, and then Dandy Dan. What the hell? Dandy Dan and Michael Caravantes 4-3, Mark G and B Mart at 3-4. So this league might be the most competitive league. Well, it is the most competitive league of all of them. Look at that. Look at that league, man. Nobody worse than 3-4. Tight race going over there. All right, and then finally in Clarence's league, Total Dallas beat Black Sheep 133 to 109. Whooped up on John Westling 137 to 108. Suck it, John. Man, Uriel Villanueva with 160 points beat Lisa 160 to 109. Clarence 116. Chris 100. Crystal Collins CC 130. David T. PP Dubs 91. Overall in the East, Clarence is 5-2. Total Dallas is 4-3. Lisa's 3-4. I'm 3-4, and PP Dubs is 2-5. In the West, John Westling still in first place at 5-2. But Pink Valkyrie hot on his heels at 4-3. Did I miss that game where Clarence beat Pink Valkyrie 116 to 100? Uriel Villanueva beat Lisa 160 to 109. Let's see. Pink Valkyrie 4-3, Uriel 4-3, Crystal is 4-3, aka CC, and Robert, aka Black Sheep, 1-6. Boy, just bringing down the whole league. It's just pretty sad. All right, there is your fantasy update. Some of you guys suck at fantasy football. Like, really suck. Not that you have a lot to do with it. Let's be real. None of us really control the outcome of that bullshit. It's fun, though. Did we even get a fantasy basketball league going in Barry on Deck this year? I know it's not that big of a deal. A lot of folks don't like fantasy basketball. Did the Deckheads even start a league for fantasy basketball? I'm curious. I guess I could look at the fantasy Discord and see. Nah, it's whatevs. All right, let's talk a little bit about this Tom Brady 600 pass. No, we didn't do fantasy basketball. Okay. Good to know. Thank you, Alice. I guess nobody gives a shit. Fantasy basketball, of all the fantasy games, it's not fun for some reason. It's not fun. I don't know why. Because I feel like if you don't get like one of the 3 or 4 best players, you just have no chance. So, I don't know. And I've never liked fantasy basketball. I love fantasy baseball. That's my favorite, followed by fantasy football. Nobody wanted to play hockey, Mark. That's because nobody likes hockey. Who gives a shit? Might as well do fantasy gymnastics or some bullshit. Hey, anybody want to do fantasy NASCAR? No. Let me tell you what. No one wants to do fantasy golf. No one wants to do fantasy NASCAR. No one wants to do fantasy hockey, fantasy soccer. None of that shit. Joe Burrow's better than hockey. That's right. You tell him, Pete, or whatever the fuck that weirdo's name was. All right, back to our where'd it go? All right, so let's talk about this. What happened? In case you missed it. Yeah, there is fantasy golf, by the way, KB Holmes. There absolutely is, and it's stupid. White Magic just trolling. Hockey's the second easiest sport. You just skate, hit a burnt waffle with a stick. You were silly. So, in case you missed it over the weekend, Tom Brady threw his 600th touchdown pass, the most in the NFL, a monumental monument. Okay. Nah, a big deal in the NFL. And Mike Evans caught the 600th touchdown pass. And upon catching the 600 touchdown, by the way, can I just tell you, so this is the actual picture. This is the actual photo. After the touchdown catch of Mike Evans giving the 600th touchdown pass of Tom Brady's career to a fan. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's just giving it to a fan. And if I'm being honest, I thought that was a chick because of the hat at first. Like I saw the highlights and I was like, oh, that's a chick, right? Turns out not a chick. Totally a dude. But Mike Evans gives this dude the ball. So he then has to go. Well, he finds out he's on the bench and somebody comes up and goes, "Where's the ball, Mike?" And he goes, "Huh?" They're like, "Bro, where's the ball? That was Tom Brady's 600th touchdown pass." He was like, it was? I just gave it to the dude in the stands." And that dude's name was Byron Kennedy. So now they've got to go to old Byron and be like, "Yo, B, say famo, that ball's pretty important. That was the 600th touchdown pass of Tom Brady's career. No one's ever thrown 600 touchdowns in football. You think we could get that ball back?" And Byron, being the good-natured Mrs. Doubtfire hat-wearing guy / gal that he is, was like, "Hell yeah, I'll give you the ball back. Love me some Tom Brady. No problem." He's also wearing a Mike Evans jersey, which is dope, right? Mike giving him the ball because he's wearing a Mike Evans. Good for you, buddy. Also, good to see that the Bucks don't have those stupid numbered jerseys anymore that look like an alarm clock. Well done, Bucks. So, Byron, we're going to get to the chat in a second because that's pretty funny. Byron gives back the ball. And in return, so last night during Monday Night Football, Tom Brady joined Peyton and Eli, and he said, "I got the ball back." there was a lot of negotiations in order to get the ball back. But they got it back that night. And look, I think Byron's a smart dude to negotiate, but I wonder what he would have got if he'd have just been like, you know what, I'll give it back. And I have a question for you guys. That ball is probably worth millions, or will be. And I'll get to that in a second, because if this shoe can sell for millions, this ball can absolutely sell for millions. And we'll get to all that and tie this all together in just a second. But that guy Byron that's got the ball agrees, I guess, after negotiating, to give it back. And according to Tom Brady, there was a lot of negotiations in order to get the ball back. So this is what Byron is going to get in return for giving back the 600 touchdown pass of Tom Brady. He's going to receive 2 signed Brady jerseys, a helmet, another jersey autographed by Evans, and he's going to get Mike Evans' game-worn cleats. Brady also promised Kennedy that he would receive 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin, which as of right now has a value of more than $62,000. The team is also providing a pair of season tickets to Kennedy for the remainder of 2021, all of 2022, and $1,000 credit to the official team store. Holy shit, that dude got a haul. White Magic out here talking shit about that dude's negotiating skills sucked. Are you kidding me? Let's run through this again. Dude got 2 signed Brady jerseys. I'm going to say those are probably worth $1,000 a piece. Easy. A helmet. Another jersey autographed by Evans, and Evans' game-worn cleats. There's only 1 pair of those. The cleats he wore to catch number 600. What? Plus a Bitcoin worth $62,000. You just put that away. That's your kid's college money. Plus he gets season tickets for the rest of this year, season tickets for all of next year, and $1,000 so that he can go spend in the team store on whatever he wants. That's a pretty good haul for a football you should have never got in the first place. Let's think about that for a second. Oh, easily Incarnate. I was at my buddy Jesse Payton's house. I wish I had the picture. I think I might have deleted it. But my buddy Jesse, you guys have seen him on this show before. He's got a ridiculous collection of memorabilia. So White Magic said $500,000 are what they gave him. Not even close. But let me ask you this, White Magic. And I know what your answer is going to be. But what about just doing the right thing? I mean, obviously Evans didn't know, or he would have never, ever given him that ball, and thus given him the opportunity to receive all the shit that he's been promised. I mean, he got probably $100,000 worth of stuff. Let's be honest. By the time the season tickets for the rest of this year, next year, the $1,000, the $62,000 Bitcoin, which could go up in value. Bro, you can't feed your kid. Come on, White Magic. That is the most troll ass ridiculous statement ever. First of all, you're still feeding your kids. Second of all, that's found money. That's not poverty money. Okay? That's like when millionaire sports guys say, well, I've got to get the most money I can because I got kids to feed. Bro, you make millions. Shut up. This wasn't money you had. Your kids are eating. I know what you're trying to do, but it's ridiculous and it's a bad look on you as a person. It really is. It really is a bad look on you as a person to say you're keeping the ball and you wouldn't give it back. That's a shitty human being if you do that. Seriously. You're a terrible person, especially when they offer you all of the things that he got offered. If you still keep that ball, you're a bad person. Period. And this whole, I got to feed my kids and shit. You act like your kids are starving and y'all are homeless. That's not the case. You have a great job. You make a lot of money. Don't give me that shit. That's just you being a dick. And I get it. You want to get your money, but you would have never got that money in the first place if Mike Evans didn't fuck up. So I think that they did right by the guy, this Brandon Kennedy fella, or whatever the hell his name was. Byron Kennedy. I think they did right by him. He got an absolute mint and a haul for that. And if he hangs on to that stuff, what it's worth now is going to be worth way more in a decade or two once Tom Brady retires. So good for him. Good for the Bucs. Good for Tom Brady. Good for Mike Evans. Everybody wins in this situation. Because if he never hands him that ball, then we don't know who the fuck Byron Kennedy is or White Magic, and your kids still starve. Come on, fam. Come at me with that. They are absolutely overcompensating him, Ben. And I'm with you, House. House said earlier, because I guess I'm just an idiot. Or whatever he said. Maybe not an idiot. He just said, see, I'm too nice. I would have just given it back for free. Me too. I would have just been like, you know what? Yeah, take the. It's like when you see like other things like home run balls and stuff like that. Like, sure, you could be a dick about it, but why? What does that gain? Like you feel good about yourself for just being a selfish piece of shit for keeping the ball? I don't know. It just seems like an awful thing to do as a person, as a human. And he got a mint, man. He got an. What are Tampa Bay Bucks season tickets? Tampa Bucks season tickets. Let's see prices. I mean, it looks like tickets are like $100 a piece, roughly, a couple $100. So I mean, he probably got $1,500 worth of tickets, and then the rest of this year. So he probably got what, $2,000 at least in tickets. Gets to go to all the home games between now and the end of next season. It's pretty good. And maybe next time he's there, Mike Evans catches a touchdown and gives him the ball because it means nothing. Mark said this team still would have compensated him even if he didn't negotiate. Roquan Smith first touchdown ball was returned by the fan who threw it to, and Bears gave him a decent haul. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you do the right thing, they're going to take care of you. But if you're a dick, well, you're just a dick. Good for you. White Man said, sure, let me hand this $500,000 ball, which is life-changing for my family, back to the billionaire who could probably care less. You didn't hand it back to a billionaire. First of all, no football player is a billionaire. They're millionaires. And that ball has way more meaning and value than just the $500K to Tom Brady, to Mike Evans, to the Tampa Bay Bucks, and to football fans all over the country. The Hall of Fame. I mean, dude. Obviously, the guy's not broke. He's at a football game sitting in the very front row. I just think this speaks volumes about you as a person if that's your mentality, White Magic. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just telling you. I would say that about anybody. I think it just says a lot about you as a person. Whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. It says a lot about you as a human being that you would rather keep that ball than give it back to somebody that it belonged to. It wasn't even, it was a fuck up. Mike Evans, if Mike Evans knew that, he would have never given that dude the ball, ever. It was a mistake, an honest mistake. If they would have told people, listen, the first touchdown catch that you guys make, hang on to the ball, then you or him or anybody else that would have been in that situation gets nothing. You're just there. White Magic, bro, you live in a weird world. And you're mentally, your mind is you're a weird dude in that regard. It's not a dog eat dog world. It's a dog-eat-dog world if you're broke and destitute. And if you're broke and destitute, you're not front row at a fucking Tampa Bay Bucks game, homie. Do you not comprehend that? This dude has on a fucking Apple Watch and a $300 Bucks jersey and probably $200 sunglasses. The guy's not broke and destitute, and neither are you. You're keeping it because you're a dick. If that's why you keep it. Your compassion for humanity and for people, like, come on, man. Truck driver Pookie said it shows how broke White Magic is. This White Magic is the same dude that says he wants to buy a Tesla, but now he's telling me he's got to feed his kids. Man, shut the fuck up. You can't sit here and tell me you want to buy a Tesla and that you're worried about feeding your kids in the same fucking week. You can't do that, homie. You can't play both sides of this. Either you're broke and destitute and need the money from that football, or you're just being an asshole and making up some charade about how much you gotta have and this is a dog eat dog. Man, come on, fam. You don't know struggle, player. You ain't struggling, okay? And it's ridiculous to even say that. Mike Evans jerseys ain't going for $300. Whatever it is. Jesus. You know what the fuck I meant. I don't know. I think there's just, it just says to me, it says a lot about people. I don't know. I'm with House. I would just give it back. Take it, dude. I'm sure I'll get something cool in return for it. But that ball's got to mean a lot more to them than it would me. A hell of a lot more. Speaking of stuff worth value, this shoe that you're looking at sold for $1.47 million. This shoe was worn by Jordan in his 5th NBA game, where he scored 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists against the Denver Nuggets. They're Nike Air Ships, designed by Bruce Kilgore. Same dude that created the Air Force Ones in '82 and went on to design Air Jordan 2s. Nike gave Jordan the Air Ships, but Jordans were so colorful that the NBA informed him they violated the uniform clause. This pair that you're looking at was signed by Jordan as well as gifted to, maintained, and now sold by former Nuggets ball boy TJ Lewis. This shoe went for $1.47 million. And it was sold to Nick Fiorella on Sunday at Sotheby's Icons and Excellence auction in Vegas. It's the most expensive game-worn footwear ever. Now, see, in this regard, Jordan said, yeah, I don't need these shoes. You can have them, ball boy. Let me sign them for you. They're yours. So he rightfully can sell them for $1.472 million. Good for him. This wasn't a mistake by Jordan. He meant to give TJ these shoes. And TJ should absolutely benefit from that. Yeah, shut up, Ben. This wasn't a mistake. He didn't mean like, oh shit, I accidentally gave you my shoes. I got to go out and play in my socks for the second half. No. The previous record for game-worn sneakers was also a pair of Jordans. In a preseason exhibition in Italy in '85, Jordan shattered a backboard with a dunk. The Air Jordan 1s he was wearing that game, still with a piece of glass in the sole of the left shoe, sold at a Christie's auction in August of 2024, $615,000. The Jordan Airships, the second most expensive footwear ever sold at auction. The Yeezy 1 prototype Kanye West publicly revealed and wore at the 2008 Grammys sold for $1.8 million. Kanye West, Michael Jordan, game worn. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That is pretty cool, man. It's a pretty cool story that there's glass in there. That's pretty dope. Justin said whoever bought them for that price is trying to clean money or make a fat tax write-off. Could be. D-Mata said, fuck that, I'm with White Magic. Well, good to know you don't have a soul either. Good to know you're a soulless, scandalous, terrible human being. It's good to know. Poor, broke White Magic. Just needing to keep something of value from people. So sad. All right. That's it. I don't want to cover anything else. I think we've done it all. We got the Jordans. We didn't get to the Alec Baldwin story, which is amazing to me. But if you didn't hear, Alec Baldwin accidentally shot the director and assistant director on set of the movie or show Rust, which I don't even know what that is. Somebody accidentally put a real bullet in the prop gun or something like that. I was talking about, I don't know the details. I didn't look it up. But something similar happened to Brandon Lee on the set of The Crow. But like Alec Baldwin cooperating with the authorities and publicly saying, you know, his regret and remorse and feels terrible. But could you imagine having to live with that for the rest of your life? Could you imagine? Yeah, we got to start a GoFundMe for White Magic. He's so poor and so broke, and his kids don't even eat. They're starving. His kids are starving. Yeah, it's so sad. They drive around in their Tesla looking for food. It's just the most heartbreaking thing. It's gut-wrenching. It really is. It's so sad. Yeah, it killed one and injured another. Mark said, I never thought I'd feel bad for Alec Baldwin. But could you imagine, you're like just joking around. You don't know. You're not trying to shoot nobody or kill nobody. And then that happens. Man. That's a weird turn of events. And now, I think forever, when you see Alec Baldwin, you're like, he killed somebody. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but he killed somebody. Hal said, poor White Magic can only charge his Tesla to 50%. And see, this is what lets me know, one, that he's a troll. Two, that he's a dick. Because in the same chat, he'll say how he would keep the money because he has to feed his kids, but then he'll also want to let you know that he's got cool grades from 2010. He'll drop that flex, but let you know he's got to have that ball to feed his kids. Come on, bro. I love you to death, but that's a bad look. It's just a bad look. There was 2 accidental discharges during the shooting. So he fired off 2 shots? Or did they get the wrong bullets? Or I don't know how you make blank bullets. I don't know how that works. But how does more than one end up in the gun to begin? Well, that's just terrible. Because now, seriously, like I can't look at Louis C.K. and think, okay, he jerks off in front of people. I can't look at Ben Roethlisberger. I can't think of Kobe Bryant. I mean, certain things stick with you forever. The same thing with Alec Baldwin. I'd be like, this dude shot and killed somebody on accident, but he still did it. I know it's not a real gun. I mean, I know it's not a prop gun. It's a real gun with blanks. I understand that. Who loads real bullets into a prop gun, though? That's the question. Unbelievable. Hey, dude, that is badass, Housey. Congratulations, buddy. Said I have an appointment to look at a house today. Good for you, man. There's nothing like owning your own home. It is amazing. You'll love it and hate it. Yeah, they use real guns and fake bullets. You guys act like I've never been on a fucking set of a movie before. Okay. Let's get it. Hey, man, thank you guys for being here. Thank you to the AP Law Group for sponsoring the show. 713-913-GO-AP. Log on. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Oh, I hate you, White Magic. I hate you so much. So, thank you, Ben. No show the rest of the week. I'm in Tulsa. Thank you, Cisco. Thank you, Shelby. Thank you all for being here, hanging out. Even White Magic with his broke self. I will. I'm going to drive the speed limit. That's why I'm getting on the road early. Scouts honor. Go Astros. Don't forget tonight, twitch.tv/Sports Riot Live. Myself, John Wesley, Mike Liebeshock. We will be sidecasting the World Series. If you don't want to listen to Joe Buck and John Smoltz bore you to death, come listen to us talk about the game and shoot the shit for 3 or 4 hours, whatever it is. If you can't make it, I get it. And so, if I don't see you tonight on Sports Riot, I will see you Monday. And until then, be safe. Be kind. And most importantly, love each other. See you all tonight, or I'll see you Monday. Making a YouTube video!